I was thinking about Black Adam the other day and wondering to myself whether it was actually as good as I remembered it. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of Black Adam. I didn't walk out of the theater skipping and jumping thinking to myself, this was the greatest thing I'd ever seen. But at the same time, it was a DCEU movie that didn't completely suck. And so for me, it was actually a step in the right direction. Ever since James Gunn took over as like the head of the DCU, a lot of people have gotten really mad about some of the things that he's done, some of the moves that he's made. You know, for instance, like him taking out Henry Cavill as Superman and things like that. And for a while, I was actually one of those people. I was a little pissed off that like just when Superman comes back, James Gunn decides to ixnay that whole idea, completely retcon it, and now Henry Cavill is out of a job as Superman. The studio completely screwed him over, and he never got a fair opportunity to be a good Superman, which I 100% loved him and love him as Superman. You know, those movies, Man of Steel, I thought was fantastic. I liked Batman versus Superman. I didn't mind Justice League. But at the same time, I knew that like Justice League was not on the same level as the Avengers. Not anywhere close. It's not even on the same level as, you know, Captain America, Winter Soldier, like that kind of a caliber of movie. And so I just recently thought to myself, like, why am I so pissed off about Henry Cavill leaving the DCU? Like, I think the question that comes to my mind is, what are we really missing here? Think about Black Adam. It was really cool to have The Rock come in and care about the DC universe and go on Twitter and make it seem like, you know, we all can win at the same time, whether it's Marvel or DC, and it's just a great time to be making superhero movies. It seemed like The Rock had this energy, this leadership that the DCU kind of needed to move forward, and he was kind of taking it into his own hands to make some of these decisions that a lot of the fans wanted, which is, you know, we want a Black Adam movie, and we don't want it to be watered down. We want it to be, you know, he's a killer. We want it to be accurate to the comics, and also like we want to see Henry Cavill back as Superman, and it almost seemed like he was taking a lot of that into his own hands moving forward, right? I keep coming back to this. I mean, Black Adam came out a couple months ago. Did I really enjoy it that much? Like, what am I really missing here? Like, if they made a Black Adam 2, would I be like over the moon about it? Would I think that it was going to change cinema and that it would be this rock solid movie event that I would need to go see? And the answer is no. It's not like the Avengers, like the original Avengers, seeing all of them together. I mean, that was a spectacle. It's not like Captain America Civil War. It's not like, you know, Avengers Infinity War or anything like that. Like, it's not, for me, Black Adam isn't really even as good as like Iron Man 3. It was like Iron Man 3 for me, which, okay, like wasn't that good, wasn't that great either. And I kind of arrived at this question. How do we want to feel when we walk out of a DC movie? Like any movie, actually. How do we want to feel? Do we want to say to ourselves, okay, that was pretty good? Or do we want to say to ourselves, wow, I really enjoyed myself. I really had a lot of fun. They did a lot of cool things, different things, interesting things with that movie. Obviously, we want to get our socks blown off. We don't just want to have like an experience with the DC universe. We want to get our freaking minds blown. And the more that I think about it, the more I wonder to myself, did I ever have my socks blown off in the DC universe? Like, did Aquaman blow my socks off? No, it didn't. Wonder Woman did. Wonder Woman certainly did. That's probably the best DC movie in my opinion. Did Batman vs Superman blow my socks off? Absolutely not. Did Man of Steel blow my socks off? I mean, borderline. That's kind of a borderline movie too. You know, it was kind of like, you know, McDonald's cheeseburger at like 2 a.m. I mean, it gets the job done. I mean, it's not like gourmet here, but it does get the job done. And so for me, if it means moving forward to kind of get rid of Henry Cavill, to get rid of The Rock as Black Adam, and to move forward with these characters, with these new stories, to try to put together some kind of a cinematic universe that actually makes sense and actually has characters that are really compelling and tell great stories, right? If we have to sacrifice the stuff that was mid to get stuff that is like mind-blowing, that finally we're coming to a DC movie with, not just high expectations, but super high hopes, because they've proven to us that they can deliver for us fans, if that makes sense, right? So for me, it's a little bittersweet. I don't want to say that, I really want to see Henry Cavill get an actual fair shake as Superman. However, I do want to see good movies, period. And for me, when the MCU started out, a lot of people I think online are just have this general feeling of, they're not really super excited for what's coming in the DC universe with the characters and stuff. But it's like, did anybody really give a damn about Iron Man or Guardians of the Galaxy or Ant-Man? Like, the MCU made these borderline characters actually really good and compelling. And so that's kind of what I want to see moving forward with DC. And I think that with James Gunn at the helm, he can totally do that. And add to the fact that we have, a Flash movie coming out, Aquaman 2, which I've heard is getting awful, initial screening reviews from people saying it's like the worst DCU movie ever made. This whole universe, sadly, is just completely in disarray. And I think what it really needs is a hard reboot. And I think that's, obviously that's what James Gunn is going to do with a lot of this stuff. And I just think it's time that we accept that to get really good storytelling, we have to sacrifice stuff that was kind of mid. And even though we liked it, we have to sacrifice that to get something that really kind of delivers for hardcore fans of the DC universe. That's it, guys. If you want to like this video and subscribe to my channel, please go ahead and do that. I also have a Substack that you can subscribe to. It's a newsletter, free newsletter that I send out every week, breaking down some of my favorite films with the visual motifs, cinematography, costumes, dialogue, etc., to kind of see what they're each trying to say. I hope you subscribe to that. The link is down in the description. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.